glory.
Let it rain.
Let it rain.
Open the floodgates.
Open the floodgates. Let it rain.
Open the floodgates.
Open the floodgates.
My Lord, Lord.
Let it rain.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
It's a wonderful Monday morning here in the city of Ibadan. And thank God it's Monday. My name is Oladapo Kunubi. And this is Kickoff Sports Show. It's the first half of AM update. Check the time right now. It is 8:01. What a weekend with different stories for those who claim victories. Shout out to Carlo Alcaraz. Shout out to Toby Amuso. Lionel Messi. An MLS player, same as Sanchez Busquets. We'll have more players moving to MLS after we had that flood of players moving to the Saudi Pro League. We as well look at what is happening in the world of NBA, same as golf for Steph Curry, moving from basketball to golf. Not that he has stopped playing basketball, but I mean, there are times that when you're on break, you have to do other things. Like me as a presenter, being in media, I can just decide to go into agriculture, get a fish pond. Okay, so now let's move straight and talk tennis this morning. We start with tennis, go to golf, talk athletics, and we talk football. Shout out to Sporting Lagos. Did I just forget to hype Sporting Lagos this morning? They are the champions of the Niger Super 8. Remember, you can watch us live from anywhere across the globe this morning. Jump on our Facebook fan page, Solutions 939 FM. Solutions 939 FM. YouTube, Solutions 939 FM. You can also listen to us via our app. Go straight to Google Play Store, type Solutions 939 FM, click the download button, download that app, then click play. You can also get so many information about Solutions 939 FM. Radio Garden, we are there at Solutions 939 FM. We'll be right back.
It's never easy to speak after a loss, but please just give us your thoughts on this wonderful final.
Well, good afternoon to everyone. Not so good for me, but good for Carlos. I have to start obviously with praises to Carlos and to his team. Amazing, what a quality in the end of the match. When you had to serve it out, you came up with some big serves and big plays, so you deserve it. Absolutely, congratulations. Amazing, amazing. I thought I'll have trouble with you only on clay and maybe hardcore, but not on grass. But now, it's a different story from this year, obviously. Congrats, amazing way to adapt to the surface. You played maybe once or twice before this year's Wimbledon on grass, and amazing, just what you did in Queens, and congratulations to your team. Juanqui, everybody, well done, guys. Enhorabuena. As for me, obviously, you never like to lose matches like this, but I guess when all the emotions are settled, I have to still be very grateful because I won many tight and close matches in the past year. To name a few, 2019 against Roger in that finals where I was match points down. Maybe I should have lost a couple of finals that I won, so I think this is even Steven.
Okay, well, that was Novak Djokovic speaking there after his loss against Carlo Alcaraz in the Wimbledon final on Sunday. Well, for Alcaraz, he made history as the youngest men's champion at the All England club since Boris Becker in 1985 as he recovered from a set down to deny Djokovic a fifth consecutive Wimbledon crown in a 5-set epic spanning 4 hours and 43 minutes. Well, for Carlo Alcaraz, he made that promise after winning his semi-final that he was going to beat Novak Djokovic on that court. But hey, yesterday after winning, he was extra happy.
It's a dream come true for me. As I said before, of course, it's great to win, but even if I would have lost, I would be really proud of myself, in this amazing run, making history in this beautiful tournament, playing a final against a legend of our sport. For me, it's incredible, as I said, it's a dream come true, be able to, play in these stages. It's amazing for a boy, 20 years old. I didn't expect to reach, this kind of situations really fast. I'm really, really proud of my. Yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of the team that I have, the work we put every day to be able, to live this experience.
Yes, absolutely. I just want you to talk us through that final game and what you put yourself through physically, emotionally, all the nerves you had to cope with trying to close out such an epic.
Yeah, I mean, after the first set, I thought Carlos increased the level of, everyone, could be disappointed, after a final, as, I have to congratulate Novak, it's amazing to play against him. What can I say about him? It's unbelievable that you inspire me a lot. I started playing tennis, watching you. I mean, since I was born, you already was winning tournaments. It's amazing. Probably you are in a very good shape than me. You just said that the 36 is the new 26, and you.
Well, for Akalaka, I mean, it was a funny moment yesterday after that final. But, I mean, a lot of people expected that final to be very tough, but maybe very easy for Carlo Alcaraz against Novak Djokovic. Well, more tournaments to be played and more time to see these two guys together on court. But let's just quickly take you through that result. It was for Carlo Alcaraz winning that one, coming from a set down 1-6, winning the next two sets 7-6, 6-1, lost the fourth set 3-6, and won the fifth set 6-4. Difficult game for Carlo Alcaraz. But now let's move on from the ATP category. Remember, it was a disappointing outing for Ons Jabeur against Marketa Vondrousova. Well, something motivational about Marketa Vondrousova was that she started being dumped by sponsor Nike as a driving force behind a surprise Wimbledon victory. The Czech emerged as one of the most unlikely champions at the All England Club and the first unseeded women's winner with a 6-4, 6-4 victory against favourite Ons Jabeur. I feel bad on Saturday, but happy on Sunday because I had to put my money on Carlo Alcaraz. Well, Vondrousova's success was all the more surprising, given her lack of pedigree on grass and a long injury absence last year following wrist surgery. And her failure to build on her run to the 2019 French Open final meant her clothing contract with Nike was not renewed. So more endorsement used to come for Vondrousova, because now, like I always say, the best way to give a response is by getting good results. Now let's talk about Steph Curry this morning, where Steph Curry made an 18-foot putt for eagle on the final hole to win the American Century Championship on Sunday, his first title in the celebrity tournament. Curry, the Golden State Warriors star, who had a hole in one Saturday, stopped it with his closing eagle on the par 5, 18th hole at Edgewood Tahoe Golf Course on the shores of Lake Tahoe. After the poop dropped, he tossed his hat into the air and ran into the arms of his wife, Ayesha. Now let's move on this morning. Well, shout out to guys watching live on Facebook this morning. Well, going straight and talk athletics this morning, and let's talk about Tobi Amusan, Nigeria's queen of the track. Oluwatobiloba Amusan caught the eye as she won the 100-meter hurdles at the Celestia Diamond League on Sunday. Amusan took first position in the race with a time of 12.34 seconds. American duo Harrison Kendra and Ali Nia came second and third respectively. The 26-year-old reflected on a performance as she will defend a world title in Budapest, Hungary next month. Congratulations and wishing her all the best. Let's move straight to the second half of the show where we talk football, and we start with the Niger Super 8.
Mind your business. Mind your business. Them no like you, you no like them. No send them. Me who run anybody nation. If you want make them, you must work hard. Oh. If you daydream big, you must wake up. Oh. Them no like you, no they look face. Oh. Isha Jesus, your hustle go big up.
Well, Majestic begin on that one. And give thanks, mind your business. Thank God it's Monday. And remember, in case you want to make it, you just have to, wake up and start working. Maybe that is the reason Sporting Lagos is on top of their game. Sporting Lagos, after gaining promotion to the Nigeria Premier League a few days ago, went into the Nigeria Super 8, lifted that title, and they won the star prize of don't worry, of 25 million naira. Ayobami Animashan, if you are listening to me right now, you know my court. Okay, so let's talk about Sporting Lagos this morning, where the team emerged the inaugural champions of the Niger Super 8 after edging Remo Stars of Ikene on penalties on Sunday's final. The Nigeria Premier League newly promoted club triumphed 4-2 on penalties shootout after 90 minutes ended 1-1. For Imagine winner, the Lagos-based club was awarded a star prize of 25 million naira, while Remo Stars got 9 million naira. Now, based on stars between these two sides, according to Poja Stats, Sporting Lagos has defeated Remo Stars 3 times, meaning back to back to back. So Remo Stars is yet to pick a point or even pick 3 points against Sporting Lagos. So let's keep our fingers crossed ahead of the new NPL season. Remember, so the Southwest Derby will be very interesting, where you have the likes of Remo Stars, Shooting Stars, Sporting Lagos, Sunshine Stars of Akure. So now, we also need to know the game that will be the most interesting Southwest Derby come the new league season. Well, we'll also talk about the FIFA Women's World Cup, what is happening in the Super Falcons squad, what is also happening in other teams, because we have updates from Australia this morning, also from Northern Ireland. Before we talk transfer stories, check our time right now. It is 8:15 from your Remedy Radio dial. We'll go on a break, and when we return, we talk or continue with football.
Ó ga jù àwọn súwìtì tí iléeṣẹ́ ẹ̀sùn máa ṣe ẹrẹ́bẹ̀ ń tẹ̀mọ̀ ní ká máa lá súwìtì báyìí ká gbàgbé ìrònú kò sí kọ́ kò sí kàtá vitamíìkì coffee bite Candy Crush bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni bisikíìtì wa tó o bá ti jẹ́ báyìí tó o bomi lé lórí ara rẹ̀ á sì balẹ̀ pẹ̀sẹ̀. Light Cracker ni Beast Crunchy ni Lunch Pack Fiber Active Cabin Lucky chewing gum wa ó dùn lẹ́nu ó bùyàrì World Cup chewing gum ni Robot Zoom Ọ̀ọ̀kì yálé búrẹ́dì wọn ó wà ń bẹ̀. Gbogbo ilé ìtajà pátá ó nà mọ̀lẹ́ ti lè ríra o. Oúnjẹ Sùmá tọ̀wọ̀ kó o gbádùn rẹ̀ dọ́ba.
Suma Foods, love and spice.
John, what's up? Check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the find who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey, you too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial star 671 # to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use them recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira every week, you fit to chop out of 25 million naira. Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions they shall.
J Slick. Hey. She dey play ball low. Hey. And she dey score goal for my heart, you. And she dey give them colo. Hey. God, I you be my ass now for life. My true love no be joke, you be my wife. Barcelona, you too tight. You number one, my left and right. If you be mine, you I go marry you. You be red devil, that's why I value you. Chelsea, I too cherish you. They played up small. I didn't feel you. If you be Marcel, I say they play well. By many, I say you too unique. PSG, Roma, Bordeaux, and Leon. They play well, they play ball. For my heart to you, she dey score goal. For my heart to you, she dey give them colo.
Okay, well, welcome back to Kickoff Sports Show. Face the play ball. Let's talk women's football this morning as we count down to July 20 for the FIFA Women's World Cup kicking off. And well, remember yesterday the Super Falcons, arriving at their camp base in Brisbane, Australia, and warmly received by FIFA officials for their 9th Women's World Cup campaign after a successful camp in Gold Coast, saying they are good to go. Okay, well, according to FIFA, the posters Asisa Toshola's video saying a huge sign of relief went through Asisa Toshola's mind when she scored at the FIFA World Cup. But hey, with the way the ladies are going, we wish them all the best at the FIFA Women's World Cup. But let's check some other teams and what is happening from the squads. The Matildas have called out FIFA's unequal prize money in a video released ahead of the Women's World Cup. Just as the Socceroos did ahead of the Men's World Cup in 2022, the Matildas have made a statement as reported by their Union Professional Footballers Australia on the issues that matter to them. Each of the 23-member playing squad spoke in the video detailing the history of the teams of fight for respect and equality on both the local and global fronts and calling for action. Well, this is not the first time that we'll be having, the female football teams come out, complain about pay. We know what happened in Nigeria, what happened in South Africa, what happened in England. Now we're seeing this in Australia. Now, moving away from that, let's go straight to the Republic of Ireland. Shlo Mustaki is not fully accustomed to the reality that in just 3 days she will walk out on the pitch and sold at the sold-out Stadium Australia as a member of the first Republic of Ireland squad to feature in the Women's World Cup. The 27-year-old's extraordinary journey to this point has been down a road rife with obstacles. From a cancer diagnosis at the age of 19 to a devastating anterior cruciate ligament injury in 2020 and a lonely COVID-19 lockdown recovery that followed. But when the Republic's plane touched down in Australia, it all began to crystallize for Bristol City defender Mustaki, who hopes she can tune out the noise of over 80,000 majority home supporters expected to attend a side's July 20 opener against World Cup co-host the Matildas. Moving away from that, well, for Republic of Ireland defender Louis Aquina is confident the goals in green have a plan in place to shut down prolific Australia striker Sam Kerr when they face the host in their World Cup opener. Queen's side, after all, have done it before, spoiling the Chelsea forwards' 100th appearance for the Matildas with a 3-2 victory when they met for the first time in history at the Tallaght Stadium in September 2021. Well, wishing them all the best. I mean, it is the Yorubas say Okporo Kadmo. Let's wait for the World Cup to start. However, Ella Jones insists England have no concerns about their attacking ability despite failing to score in each of the last two matches. The Lionesses, fourth in the FIFA World Rankings, kick off their World Cup quest on Saturday against Haiti in Brisbane, just over a week after playing out a goalless draw and behind closed doors training fixture with Canada on the Queensland Sunshine Coast. Let's keep our fingers crossed to see what happens. Well, we can't just wait to see the Super Falcons. Bayana. I mean, talking about the Matildas for Australia national team. Look, talk of Canada, talk of Brazil. Mata coming this time around. What will surely matter for Brazil, we don't know. But now let's talk about what will surely matter in the United States of America as we talk transfer stories. After months of anxious anticipation, Inter Miami introduced the new signing Lionel Messi to a sold-out crowd over the weekend at DRV PNK Stadium. The Argentina soccer star signed a multi-year contract with the club on Saturday, becoming the highest-profile signing to hit MLS since David Beckham joined LA Galaxy in 2007. A 2-hour weather delay stalled the event with heavy rain pelting the stadium grounds and lightning illuminating the sky. Nobody cared, no one was going to miss this, and the fans were treated to a double feature as Messi's former Barcelona teammate Sancho Busquets was also introduced as an Inter Miami player after signing his deal to join the club on Sunday. Now, moving away from that, let's go straight to Spain and also look at what is happening in Netherlands. Netherlands midfielder Xavi Simons has left PSV Eindhoven to complete a move back to Paris Saint-Germain. The former Barcelona academy player joined the PSV on a 5-year deal from PSG last summer upon the expiry of his contract. Now to England, where Chelsea have completed the signing of Brazilian teenager Angelo Gabriel from Santos as new manager Mauricio Pochettino looks to add talented youth to his squad. The 18-year-old winger, who became the youngest player in the history of Brazil's national championship when he made his senior debut at the age of 15 years and 308 days, has 129 first-team appearances at Santos. But, I mean, if a young player, the way you play in Brazil will surely be different from how you play in England. And for Mauricio Pochettino needs to understand this. But another thing we're also getting in England this morning is that Chelsea are considering entering the race for Harry Maguire's signature, with West Ham, Tottenham and Newcastle United all keen on the England defender. Remember, the England defender was stripped of his captaincy over the weekend. He posted on a social media page saying that despite that captain band taken away from him, he will surely give his best for the club, and that he posted on Sunday. Now, let me just quickly check that tweet. He posted, and I quote here, after discussions with manager today, he has informed me he is changing captain. He outlined his decisions and reasons to me, and whilst I'm personally extremely disappointed, I will continue to give my all every time I wear the shirt. So I wanted to say a massive thank you to you, to the Manchester United fans, for all their brilliant support whilst I've been wearing the armband. End of quote. Who that one help now? For Manchester United fans, I know you guys will be happy, but let's see what happens the new season. So who do you really think will be the next Manchester United captain? Well, there was a poll on social media yesterday. Some tipping maybe Rashford, Varane, Casemiro, or Bruno Fernandes. Well, For the Manchester United guys watching live on Facebook this morning, let's get your opinion. Well, shout out to Onobanjo Oluwatosin, Fidelix, Ojo, Yeni, Adeboje Yusuf, Adejari, Abdul Fattah Otumba. Now let's talk about Manchester United as we're getting updated that Manchester United have agreed a deal with Inter Milan to sign goalkeeper Andre Onana. The Cameroon international is set to have a medical before completing €50 million move to the Old Trafford. United are hopeful Onana, who will replace David Here as the number one goalkeeper in the club, will be available to travel with the squad for the preseason tour of the United States, which kicks off with a stop in New York this week. Now let's talk about a man who has been in the news for the past few weeks is Harry Kane. Talking about Harry Kane this morning, Bayern honorary president Uli Hoeneß is confident Tottenham striker Harry Kane will join the Bundesliga champions this summer. The two clubs met on Thursday to discuss Kane's possible switch to the Allianz Arena, although no meaningful progress was made between Spurs chairman Dani Levy and Bayern chief executive Jan-Christian Dreesen. But what will surely happen, we don't know. Well, Fenerbahce have confirmed the signing of former Southampton and Ajax forward Dusan Tadic on a 2-year contract. Now, looking at more transfer updates in the next 2 minutes as we wrap up this morning. Well, for News Sports, boss Ange Postecoglou has revealed a bit more about the first meeting with striker Harry Kane since taking over amid increasing speculations over his future. Well, he came out to say that he had a good chat with Harry, and well, as he said, nothing earth-shattering or defining, and he guesses that what people are seeking. Let him just wait. He won't want to let the cat out of the bag. And well, it's like everything is the way things are playing out between Juventus, Inter Milan, Romelu Lukaku. It's looking like 60% true that Romelu Lukaku will be headed for Juventus. Remember, Inter Milan pulled out the plug on Romelu Lukaku after the report said that he was discussing with Juventus, most especially with Chelsea, saying that he may not return to Inter Milan on loan. And according to Fabrizio Romano, Juan Cuadrado will sign until June 2024 as a new Inter player. Medical tests are already booked at the beginning of this week. Document being prepared. It will be official next week. That was the tweet from Fabrizio Romano yesterday. Here we go. So if a Cuadrado is moving to Inter Milan, that may be a player plus money swap for Romelu Lukaku. I'm just saying that may be. That may be. All right, well, check the time right now. It is 8:28. We'll wrap up this side as we move to the other side of the show where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigeria's newspapers. My name is Oladapo. Could it be? I'll be back this evening on Extra Time where we look at everything football. Like we say, keep doing sports and stay safe.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay? Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay? My neighbor, my neighbor, my neighbor, my neighbor.
Alright, Oladapo, this is one song that really gets me in the dancing mood whenever I listen to it, especially on Monday mornings like this. I'm almost losing my concentration digging into that beautiful song. Yeah,
dancing mood.
Yeah, dancing mood. It gives me the
I've never seen you dance before, though.
Oh, I never. Okay.
But no, I need to ask some people. Maybe I will have to ask Judith.
Yeah, well, maybe. I did dance, but I'm a very good dancer. I remember my days when I was in UI. I was a member. I was a member of the SOD and so many dancing
Seriously?
groups. Yeah, I was. Spirit of David. Yeah.
I know Spirit of David.
So I was an active member of the SOD. You know.
I feel we need to do something like a throwback. I hope Favor is listening right now. Maybe on a Thursday she brings everybody into the studio.
Okay.
Give us some dance steps you had back then.
Okay.
I never joined a dance group, but I know how to dance. I'm a good dancer.
I know, everybody knows that.
You don't need to tell me that.
Everybody knows that.
Well, you know, when you see 1,000 naira, maybe you can dance better.
Well, I had a very good weekend, so I think.
You didn't have a weekend where you were thinking of the 8,000 naira palliative.
Yeah, I actually discussed it on the program yesterday, but I think we need, Nigeria, we just have to put things aside and just try to stay happy at all times, or else.
Stay happy, Ashejeje. Well, I've got The Nation and the Punch newspapers this morning.
I've got the Vanguard and the Nigerian Tribune newspapers with me this morning, and both papers I have with me are loaded. I mean, with different stories. Looking at the front pages of the two newspapers this morning.
Okay, remember you can be part of the program this morning. We're live on Facebook, facebook.com/solutions939fm, facebook.com/solutions939fm. We're live on YouTube, solutions939fm. Post your comments, reactions on our Facebook fan page. We are live. And let us also know what you think about some of those headlines. Remember, you can as well follow us on Twitter at solutions939fm, Instagram solutions939fm, Threads solutions939fm, and you can send us a WhatsApp message or SMS on whatever your thoughts are concerning the headlines we have. And our analyst will surely join us virtually, but let's let you know the WhatsApp line. You can send your messages to same as SMS 0904-422-2939, 0904-422-2939. That's the WhatsApp and SMS line. Let's go straight.
Did I remember to mention my name? Okay, if I didn't mention my name is Adidamala Lafema for anyone listening for the first time.
Very soon it will become Comrade.
Comrade. Okay, Comrade Adidamala. I think I will prefer the Comrade on the program this
because
morning.
You like rolling your sleeves.
That's it. Okay, starting off with the Vanguard newspaper this morning, looking at the cap headlines. I have this one saying, insurgency, military might alone can't solve crisis in the Northeast. Vice President Shetima, that story is on page 8. Tinubu affirms Africa's unity, warns against a new scramble for continent. The story is on page 9. Illegal firearms charge. Lawyers, activists to demand Emefiele's immediate release. That story is on page 27. of the Vanguard newspaper this Monday morning. Going to the banner headline this morning, subsidy removal, FG targets two-pronged relief for workers, and two riders under that caption to provide palliatives pay 200,000 naira minimum wage. And the second rider says to empower states to pay new wage. I know this is one story that government workers, especially the federal government workers, will be happy to listen to. I mean, 200,000 naira minimum wage. How many states will be able to afford this? Okay, moving away from that, I have this one saying adulterated aviation fuel floods Lagos, Kano, Abuja. That story is on page 23.
Talking about that headline of the treated aviation fuel, I was
yeah.
scared yesterday and so concerned.
Okay.
If you look at how much people buy flight tickets now,
Mhm,
and you are now
yeah.
having adulterated aviation fuel. Remember what happened some months ago, talking about the aviation fuel, I think how expensive it became and how much Nigerians are now paying. So that means at the end of the day, if you're traveling, you have to travel with either double mind maybe at the end of the day they tell you that there's adulterated fuel. This you may not be able to go with this particular flight and you have to go back to the road.
You know, sometimes I wonder how these adulterated commodities enter the market. I mean, adulterated
There should have been a
fuel.
check.
I mean, there should be a body that should be running the checks.
Yes.
For these things. And imagine flying a plane with adulterated aviation fuel. Anything
Oh.
can happen.
Now, let's also talk about adulterated fuel. Was it last year that we got to know that it was adulterated petrol?
Yes, and
And
so
that's-
many cars so many car engines were damaged.
That's one. Nobody was brought to book.
None.
And that's also, contributed to the increase in petrol price. That was the beginning of increase in petrol price. And after that, we started hearing different prices till the removal
Of the subsidy.
Oh, no.
Okay, moving away from that, we'll still go back to that particular story in the course of the program. 8,000 naira too small to ease pains of fuel subsidy removal. And that is a statement credited to informal sector workers. That story is on page 9. APC crisis, pressure mounts on Adamu Omishore to resign. The story is on page 13. Oh, look, it's on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. Electricity tariff, NEC, 11 discos set for fresh public hearing. Serap to Akpabio Abbas, drop plan to spend 110 billion naira on bulletproof cars. I like to read that again. Serap to Akpabio Abbas, drop plan to spend 110 billion naira on bulletproof cars, and 12 million Nigerian households are to share 500 billion naira.
If you look at this,
I mean,
when I saw the headline, when I saw the story yesterday from Serap is this body that drags federal government, drag anybody,
all bodies.
But the question is, do they listen to Serap? If you have plans to buy bulletproof cars, are we voting for people to go to the Senate, to the reps to buy bulletproof cars?
110 billion naira.
Billions, and Nigerians are to share
500 billion.
500 billion for
it's 8K.
8K for how many months? I think 6 months.
For 6 months.
And this set of people, the question is, the other senators or National Assembly members in quotes in general, the cars they used, why couldn't they drop it, refurbish these cars, or sell these cars, use the money, add it up to buy new ones?
And let me do a little mathematics here, Dapo. We have 360 reps and we have 109 senators. Now, adding that together, we have about 469 members at the National Assembly. So 469 members of the National Assembly are to share 110 billion naira in the name of bulletproof cars. And 12 million households in Nigeria are to share 500 billion naira.
Does that mean that we're in Animal Kingdom? What's the title of the book by
Animal
Orwell?
Kingdom.
The Animal Kingdom. Okay,
So
some
all animals are
higher,
equal, but some
are
animals are more equal than the rest. Okay, I'll match my breaks here.
You don't need to tell us you have a
Okay,
car.
you can move to the
No,
next.
it's like you have a car, right? You're matching your break. No problem. But let's go straight to the Nation newspaper this morning, and the cap headlines here. Read: President set to unveil security plan, says Shetima. The next headline says $50 million power plant to drive Lagos economy. Planned private sector driven. I take that headline again. $50 million power plan to drive Lagos economy. Right after that headline says, plan private sector driven. And the next set of headlines here, APC's neck holds a Wednesday. Violence forces Olubado to suspend Egungun Festival. Service chiefs face reps panel. And look at the next the red headline from the Nation newspaper this morning, if you have a copy. The front page, petrol subsidy removal desirable, says APC chair Adamu. And talking about the APC, there's internal crisis, and we got a report this morning about the resignation of the APC chairman, Abdullahi Adamu. While we are yet to get the official report from that, and saying that Omishori also has to step down. And 2 weeks ago, we got the interview of a member of the APC National Working Committee saying that Adamu should step down if he's not happy with some decisions taken by the renewed hope-led government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Even that decision of, the announcement of principal officers of the National Assembly announced by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. But now continuing looking at some other headlines this morning. The banner headline from the Nation newspaper: Tinubu, Africa must be active to compete globally. And the writer to that headline: leaders pledge commitment to integration, cooperation. Inflation nears 24% rate. And the last headline, which is the shoe headline here: more investments in education crucial, says Obi Emma Swahan. These are the headlines you can find from the Nation newspaper this morning. Let's move straight to the next newspaper.
Okay, I'm moving to the Nigerian Tribune this morning. I have this one saying, CISLAC, Serap kick against proposed procurement of bulletproof exotic vehicles by National Assembly. Others, that stories on page 2. Europe-bound teenage students arrested at Abuja airport with meth consignment. The stories on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. Moving to the banner headline this morning: Tinubu's cabinet, supporters worry over inclusion of ex-governors. And we have 3 riders under that caption. Say it may cost government goodwill. Son of ex-CJN tipped as AGF. And the last rider says, battle for slots rages in Nasarawa, other states. That story is on page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. There can't be military solution to Northwest crisis, Shetima. And it says Tinubu to unveil new security initiative soon. The story is on page 5. Nasarawa Guba, tribunal admits more evidence in case against Sule. The story is on page 22. 4 killed, 11 injured in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway accident. The story is on page 27. NEC to engage stakeholders over Disco's request for tariff increase. And another one, petrol subsidy removal, suspense in states over palliatives. And the last one I'll be taking says 110 billion naira earmarked for National Assembly members, illegal, contemptuous. Falana. That story is on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
Okay, now going straight to the Punch newspaper this morning and looking at the cap headlines. IG withdraws mobile policemen from ex-governors, ministers, VIPs. NERC may OK tariff hike as electricity subsidy hits 2.8 trillion naira. So what is NERC trying to do? No, so remember, was it last month that experts already foresaw what may happen, and Nigerians kicked against it. Dele Alake came out and said that there's nothing like that. And now NERC may OK tariff hike as electricity subsidy hits 2.8 trillion naira. Remember last week we saw that headline of IBEDC saying that you need to upgrade the meter. So there are some things you need to do. I'm still not convinced yet. So let everybody just be prepared. I don't want to spoil people's mood this morning. But if you want to buy, I bought 3,000 naira fuel yesterday. I was like, is this? I still went to check the meter. the filling station.
Imagine.
So maybe
At what rate did you buy it?
At that should be 510.
Okay.
Instead of 500.
That 500. Where are we using 500?
No, there's one filling station, a popular filling station in Ibadan.
Yes, I know, but before you can see that, you see
You have to
520, 530,
So
540
you
at
buying for
times.
30. You bought for the 530
I
before.
steadily have been buying for like 520 for the
Oh.
past 2-3 weeks now.
You know you're my friend, Laffy. Where are you getting this money? Okay, looking at other headlines. Anger at Senate defends 70 billion naira palliative for lawmakers. Do these people really need palliatives? Okay, the banner headline from the Punch newspaper this morning: controversy over alleged resignation of APC chair Adamu. Two riders to that headline. Adamu allegedly forced to resign 2 days before NEC meeting. Party spokesperson Mom. And the next rider, NWC member. Other sources divided over resignation. Kiari may chair National Working Committee meeting. And the front page picture with a headline says, resist new scrabble for Africa. Tinubu tells AU Forum. And we saw the tag to that front page picture. President Bola Tinubu at the 5th mid-year coordination meeting between the African Union, the regional economic communities and regional mechanisms in Nairobi, Kenya on Sunday. And the last set of headlines here: 43 million Nigerians shut out of Buhari's cash transfer report. You want to know more? 43 million Nigerians. Get a copy of the Punch newspaper. NDLEA nabs Europe-bound undergraduate Lagos lawyer with drugs. World Bank links Lagos building collapses to poor regulation. We need to get more reports. You want to know more about this? Get a copy of the Punch newspaper this morning. So we are done with the headlines. Remember, you can be part of the program this morning. Very soon we connect with Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe this morning as we look at some of these headlines. But before that, let's go straight to the burning issue this morning. I don't know, maybe you took that headline concerning Nigerian security system, which Shetima said that the Nigerian military cannot, Nigerian military only cannot, solve
solve the crisis.
What was the headline again?
It says insurgency, military might alone can't solve crisis in the northeast.
So what will be the solution? Here is Shetima speaking.
The polar question. But inshallah, then the chicken sati biyu, inshallah, President Bola Tinubu, they unveiling the Polaco solution. Unless we want to engage in an endless war of attrition, there has to be a kinetic and non-kinetic solutions to our problems. Inshallah, yana da niyya ta alheri, kuma inshallah cikin wata ɗaya za ga canji a Northwest.
The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, speaking yesterday in the North when he paid a condolence visit to, that should be in Kano, if I'm correct, saying that the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu will find a solution to insecurity in Nigeria. Well, so many promises were made, but some are already being achieved. But let us see how this can be possible with kinetic and is it the kinetic and the okay. But Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, I don't know, he's not a security expert, but maybe he might have spoken to security experts on how to solve the security problems in Nigeria. Good morning to you, Comrade.
Good morning to you. Yeah, it's a Monday, brand new week.
Yeah, you're not even talking about the Southeast problem now. Not even talking about the Southeast problem now.
So what do you make of that comment from the
and
Vice
how can
President?
it be solved?
Military might alone cannot solve the problem.
crisis, Yes, the insurgency.
Well,
issue.
is that policy or just coming off the cuff from the Vice President? If he says military might alone cannot solve it. You see, the Nigerian military is overstretched. I keep saying this thing. It is not nice having the military in our civil space so actively in every part of Nigeria. The GOC of the 8th Division 2 was speaking in the Northwest over the weekend, saying the same thing. It is not tidy. It is not sustainable. The military is in a civil space. And the consequences of that, when you put the military in the civil space, they start thinking the country could take over everything. It is our military. I don't know. I was reviewing the Boko Haram and the banditry and all of that. I think over the weekend, and I had to go back, to the Air Force to check the Tucano jets and all of that. I just don't understand. Honestly, we need electronics, surveillance, because it's not about defeating them militarily. The sustainability. What about sustainability? We have the same problem with forests in this Southwest too. We have the same problem. The only thing, safety here is that it is herders and all of that are in our own forest, not bandits. If you're familiar with the reserves in Okiogun, that stretch, how can the military manage? They cannot. If you know that place they call the Sambisa Forest, I mean, I don't know how they're going to solve this problem, but certainly the military is not going to win that war. Honestly, they are not going to win that war. How many men do we have in uniform? I mean, the army. How many men do we have?
Are you saying the members of the Boko Haram or the bandits are way larger in numbers than the military men that we have in Nigeria?
It is not about numbers. They are not fighting a conventional warfare. You understand? They are not fighting a conventional warfare where there is a theater and then you will face each other and then they will take. No! These guys, they just operate in groups of 50, 100. They know the location of our unit. They go behind the lines and attack them or ambush them. That's what we have been having. When we have a face-to-face confrontation, they cannot overpower our men. No, they cannot. But that's not the warfare that we have. It's guerrilla warfare. It's not a regular military confrontation. No, it is not.
So
it is not.
So it is more of internal crisis. Nigerians fighting against Nigerians, and maybe that should be settled in. Because what the Speaker of the House of Reps said was that when he also visited a part of North, saying that there will be laws to. Yes, National Assembly will create constitutional rules for monarchs, meaning maybe this will be tackled locally. Within people in the country, or those people within to help the Nigerian military.
The issue of security is local. That is, security is a local thing. I will just give one or two examples. When Umaru Diko was kidnapped on the streets of London, it was not as if it was the intelligence that knew he was kidnapped. It was citizens sitting in their own homes, sitting by their window that called the police. They didn't know Umaru Diko. They just saw suspicious movement. It was citizens that called the security that something is happening here. That was how. So it is intelligence. They call it intelligence. It is an issue of intelligence gathering, not just gathering, intelligence processing and intelligence utilization. That is the major challenge, and that is local. It is local. I keep asking myself, why this insecurity in the Northeast? Why is it? And yes, it has an international dimension now. You know, with IC and ISWAP, you know, having a hand in it. Of course, that is understandable. They are just the evil of the axis of evil is just above Nigeria in that place.
Okay.
So you can understand the international dimension to it.
Right.
But incidentally, we have to localize these things. Traditional institutions in Nigeria, they had always historically been responsible for security. They know everybody. Everybody knows everybody. You go and bring one man from Kara Namoda to Ibadan. You go and bring one man from Ibioland to Epe. What is he going to police? Insecurity is a local thing. It is local. We have to go back to basics. Okay. We have to go back to basics.
Okay, now going back to basics, let's talk about what is currently happening and reactions. There's no official statement now, but according to a report yesterday, was about the APC chairman, Abdullahi Adamu. According to reports, has stepped down from his position ahead of the NEC meeting scheduled for Wednesday. And if you look at different headlines this morning, from Punch to Tribune to Vanguard, and maybe there is more problem than we think. Remember, this story has been in the news for the past few days, and coupled with the fact that Adamu made a statement concerning the sick governor of Ondo State, that is Arakuni Akeredolu, which later he had to retract his statement. But now let's look at it. Since the announcement of principal officers at the National Assembly, Adamu has been facing serious backlashes because of the statement he made that he wasn't carried along with the selection of principal officers in APC. So it's like maybe the problem that happened to PDP is the same problem that will happen to APC in the next few days.
Adamu, he didn't start today. You remember the primaries?
I was coming to that. I was going to say that seems to be the genesis of his problems with the APC, because
Adamu lacks discretion for a man of his stature in the public space. He lacks discretion. I remember on the issue of the principal officers, he recanted and he said he was actually consulted. Why? You are in the public space. You cannot. If you don't, it's a political party. There will be shades and shades, different shades of opinion about an issue. No doubt, everybody cannot agree on one particular and every issue. There will be shades or different shades of opinion, but it is managing it. You understand? That is, it is the management of it that is important, and it's not looking like he is capable of doing that. But be that as it may, I don't know whether man should be removed. They should just leave the man and ignore him.
Okay, just before we leave the APC crisis, I'm still going back to the primaries. During the build-up to the primaries, it's been speculated in some quarters that the body language of Adamu, being the chairman of the APC at that time, wasn't in favor of Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerging as the presidential candidate. It's believed that he was tipping for a northerner then, which almost...
They actually came out and announced Ahmed Lawan as the choice of the party.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to.
He came out.
Now, do you feel that this... Okay, looking at the headline on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, it says APC crisis, pressure mounts on Adamu. Is this not like a payback coming from the APC for the role Adamu played during the build-up to the primaries of the presidential primaries?
Believe you me, even if the president is not particularly interested, he won the primaries, he won the election. You understand? The thing didn't end at the primary. They still went ahead and worked against him, according to reports. During the election, the man won the primaries. The man won the election. So he got his people into the offices in the National Assembly. He's going to put his men. It's not that I'm more a party that will appoint ministers and members. So what is it? They should just Stay back. I don't know. They should just leave the man there and ignore him and do what they have to do to govern. Honestly, because they are going to create crisis if they remove the man. They're going to create crisis.
Okay, so to avoid crisis, let the sleeping dog lie.
Yes, the sleeping dog lie. What role does parties play in Nigeria when governors and presidents have been elected?
Okay.
What role do they play?
Now, before we talk about the NERC okaying tariff hike, right? Let us talk about this as the last political story we'll be looking at in 2 minutes. Yesterday, you got the story of ABGA governorship candidate, that is Frankie Wike Jr., withdrawing petition, against the Enugu state governor. There have been different reports. Remember that happened in Ibadan. The party that withdrew petition against Governor Seyi Makinde. Now, Frankie Wike Jr. did his also. Now, if this is happening, is it that most times when people lose election, they just want to make statements, going to tribunal, calling for an investigation into the election, which they knew they lost scandalously. So should we believe in people going to tribunal?
Yeah, that is why, the merit. They say, sometimes Nigerians are bad losers, especially election. But there's also the opinion out there that the politicians have their day. The lawyers too will have their day. So they will have to go to court. How can the politicians alone have their day? Let the lawyers too have their day. But the smart, did you see the PDP candidate go to court in Oyo State?
No.
He didn't go to court. He didn't go to court. Very, very smart. He looked at it and what's the point? You go and spend hundreds, you're going to hire senior advocates of Nigeria. They don't take peanuts, and you don't have to spend hundreds of millions again pursuing Mirai. But, for whatever reason, it's going to put you in the public space for another few months, and then people will be talking about it. And then, of course, you have to say, if you don't win the case, you will now start a new song, and the song will be, the judiciary is this, the judiciary is that, the mandate was stolen. And you can say that for another 3 years until another cycle of elections. And the lawyers will be making their money.
Comrade Jishope, let's move away from politics now. There is just some front page story on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. It says, subsidy removal, FG targets two-pronged relief for workers. And what are these two-pronged relief for workers? One of them says, to provide palliatives, pay 200,000 naira minimum wage. And the second one is to empower states to pay the new wage. Now, 200,000 naira minimum wage for workers. Is this not going to have a denting effect on the economy, judging by the inflation that will come from it? I mean, we have currently 30,000 naira jumping up to 200,000 naira. What do you take? What's your take on this?
They won't do such. They won't do such. 200,000 naira minimum wage. They're not going to do anything like that. What kind of economics is that? They're not going to, even the 100% minimum increase in minimum wage. 100%. Wherever did you hear any country increasing minimum wage by 100%? You understand? They have to find some other ways. You understand? When you increase minimum wage, maybe 75%, 180%, or whatever, you have to, maybe you increase allowances. You understand? You now increase allowances and then provide some other material support. You understand? No, 200,000 minimum wage. Who is going to do that? They're never going to do such a thing. The man that is president, he has a finance background. They're not going to do such a thing. Even if they have the liquidity, you understand? Even if there is the liquidity. The last time a thing like that was done was in the days of Yakubu Bawa. You remember the Udoji affair?
Yeah, Udoji.
When they just awarded Udoji. They're not going to. And the people know the consequences that followed it. That was the beginning of inflation in this country. It is better to provide allowances. You understand? People have been saying, I read somebody sent me something about that 500 billion naira palliative, and the listed, especially in the transport sector, you understand, what it can do, you understand, and that is one of it is the most critical. The impact is on the transport sector for individuals and for foodstuffs. We know how these foodstuffs get here from the north, you understand, and even from the village, our own villages, the cost of transportation has doubled, and it goes straight into the price at the retail end. So if something is done, there are 2-3 ways: the short term, medium term. The long term is road infrastructure. In Oyo State, we have had about 1,000 kilometers of what we call rural roads. It's a World Bank assisted thing. I don't know how far they're going with it. Beautiful idea on paper. 1,000 kilometers targeted at, the farms, the rural areas where these farm products come from. If you can imagine 1,000 kilometers of rural roads in Oyo State, how it will facilitate the movement of, farm products. So, and then that's road infrastructure, and then the vehicles. You understand? Subsidy for transportation. It is very, very key. I see people are in pain. People are in pain, especially in terms. It's even mild around here. It is worse in Lagos. They just simply doubled the prices. Of course, they know they can't double prices of transportation in Ibadan. People are just going to be walking. And even here that they didn't double that, they are just adding 50, 100 naira to eat. People are in pain. People are in pain. So, and then if they make a minimum wage 200,000, will every business owner be paying 200,000? Is it even industries, can they afford it?
That's my favorite.
It will end up on the retail price of services. You understand? On products, and then it will just make nonsense of it, and inflation will be on its way to the roof.
Okay.
So
Comrade Ajishokwe, just before we let you go, there is this particular issue which I would like us to talk about in 60 seconds or 2 minutes. 110 billion naira earmarked for National Assembly members illegal, contemptuous, Falana, and he threatens contempt proceedings against RMAFC chair Akpabio and Abbas. What's your take on that? On that
is not new. They have been doing it since 1999. It is only escalating. It is only escalating. They've been doing it since 1999. In 1999, they bought just 504 best line for reps and 406 prestige for senators. So they stepped up. They stepped up to other brands, more exotic brands. And then, I think each piece of vehicle that they're going to buy the best in those series. And I think they're buying, I don't know whether they're buying SUVs for the senators, but they're buying SUVs for they will buy for the committee. You understand?
Yeah.
All the committees will have SUVs. 109 senators, 360 reps, and then principal officers will have SUVs, exotic SUVs. I don't want to mention brands. And then all committees will have vehicles too. So they do it every time. They do it every time. But you see, I don't know what service they are rendering. People will start demanding very soon that they should make the National Assembly part-time. Now, what are they doing there? You understand? All this. So those who got 4 years ago and returned will get another one. And when they are leaving, by insurance calculation, you use a vehicle for 4 years, it is zero value because depreciation is 25% per annum.
Definitely.
So it is zero. And of course, those who are smart will not go use it. They will keep it, and then it will still be brand new. So all of that, I don't know the cost of governance. You see, what people are seeing, people are not happy that Why are you doing all of this? The executive branch is doing it. They're doing their own. And other things will still follow. They will give them constituency around. They will give them constituency projects. They are the ones that will nominate those who will do the constituency project, and then they will do shady job and collect money from the crowd. People are not happy. I hope they are not going to be driving Nigerians to the point that they will frontally be demanding good governance from them, rather than Congo of rice and Congo of Gary. I do hope.
All right, so Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, with the Congo of rice and Congo of Gary, let's keep our Congo here and return tomorrow where we look at more headlines and review. Thank you so much for your time, Comrade.
My pleasure always, Comrade Damola and Comrade Dapo.
Thank you so much.
Have a beautiful, wonderful week.
And you too. Okay, well, Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, there speaking, and he will be here this afternoon, right? For political updates. All right, but he's going to also give us more, concerning the APC crisis. And reports we are getting has it that the APC bigwigs, reveal the reason Adamu Omishori resigned. But we need to get more before the end of today. And we also got report that police clashed with EFCC operatives at APC's Adamu Abdullahi's residence. And according to report, there was a search that which they wanted to execute at Abdullah Adamu's home. However, remember you can be part of the program this morning. To send us a WhatsApp or SMS this morning because of our time. Send them straight to 0904 422 2939. 0904 422 2939. And remember, we are live on Facebook, facebook.com/solutions939FM. facebook.com/solutions939FM. Let's quickly check traffic update this morning, same as weather forecast. Yeah, it looked cloudy this morning, so I had to rush out of the house. You could see that I don't have a tie on me this morning. So we got a traffic update from Sal_DR this morning from Okekpado Ogunpa access that there's free movement for those of you who would like to run your businesses. I mean, for those who love buying stuff in bulk in Ogunpa this morning, you can find your movement down to the axis. I think around 11, 12, that is when traffic always build up in that area. Well, thank you very much, Saudia, for that update. But based on weather forecast, for those of you in the city of Ibadan, yes, I don't know if it is now drizzling, but before jumping into the studio this morning, the weather, yes, and we're getting an update this morning that there will be thunderstorm, from 12 to 1 o'clock in the city of Ibadan, including 3 o'clock. So it will be most cloudy from 7 to 9 o'clock this today in the city of Ibadan. So, guys, we have to wrap up as a victory. Richard will be here to take over for Solutions Clinic. I think he said he will be treating something on. Is it COVID-19? No, I'm not sure. But hey, guys, do not go anywhere. Victory Richard will be moving into the studio. My name is Ola Dakwa. I'm going to be shout out to Samson Ademola, Taufik Akim Banuso, Imafoje Peters, Ade Jare Abdul Fatai.
Okay, my name is Ade Damola Laughingwa, wishing you a money-making Monday. Good morning.
John, what's up? check your phone. I just send you Momo referral. My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the find who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey, you too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial star 671 hash to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use and recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira, every week you fit chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions they shall.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with Sumal candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow! Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love and prosper. Sumal Foods, love and prosper.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Junior, get inside. You don't want to let mosquitoes bite you, do you? I cannot treat malaria again, no.
Mama Junior, children will play. It is you that should keep your environment clean in order not to breed mosquitoes.
Even after netting the whole house and sleeping inside the insecticide-treated net?
Of course. Don't you know the state of your environment is as important as inside your house? Yes. When you get rid of stagnant water at every space mosquitoes can breed, be rest assured, Junior can play all he wants.
My friend, the honorary doctor. I will do just that so that my family can say bye-bye to mosquitoes.
Not just mosquitoes, but malaria.
Together, we can achieve a zero malaria society.
This message is from Solutions 93.9 FM.
You say you want to be superhero. Here is your chance to save the world. We all need one another. Play your part, tell the next person. What in the world are you waiting for? Get in line, get your vaccine, oh yeah, take your job, mask up. The COVID-19 vaccine is free, safe and effective, oh yeah. Come vaccinate, oh yeah, jab up, 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 oh yeah, jab up. That's how we save the world. Oh yeah, jab up, 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 oh yeah, jab up. That's how we save the world. My brother, you know if you fight time on your own, get your vaccine, say. That's how we save the world. My sister, don't be fighting by yourself. Get your vaccine, it is free. That's how we save the world. Oh yeah, jab up, 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 oh yeah, jab up. That's how we save the world. Oh yeah, jab up, 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 oh yeah, jab up. That's how we save the world.
It's a beautiful Monday morning right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Exactly 21 minutes gone past 9. Good morning to you, IB City. Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to another week of making your health a priority. Like I would always say, a healthy life is your ticket to a wealthy life. Oh well, this morning we're going to be talking yet on another health subject. And this morning I'll be talking to you on COVID-19 and HIV and AIDS. Now, it's not a conversation that a lot of people are quite open to because of stigmatizations that are somewhat attached to these diseases. However, it's something we might have to talk about because we want to continually educate ourselves on these ailments so we don't fall prey to any of it. And that's the conversation we're going to be having this morning. We had quite an incredible conversation last week, Monday, and of course, you trust us to bring you great insight in some health matters because we know that health is indeed wealth. So welcome to Solutions Clinic. My name is Victory Richard. Alright, be reminded that we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939, so do well to jump in on the platform and lend in your thoughts regards to questions that you might have that relate to any of these subjects that we're discussing this morning. Of course, joining me in the studio this morning is Ruth Enang and Dimeji Olawi. They're from the Slum and Rural Health Initiative organization here in Ibadan. And the purpose of this visit is for a radio advocacy to remind the public about COVID-19 vaccination, prevention action, the use of COVID-19 prevention action for COVID-19 at all community levels, as well as HIV prevention and ultimately curbing the disease in our society. Good morning to you, Ruth, and good morning to you, the Majors. Great to have you join us this morning.
Good morning, Victor.
Morning, it's Victory.
Morning, Victor.
Yes.
All right, Victory.
How are you guys doing this morning?
We're doing very well.
All right, so I'll begin with you, Ruth, because we're going to kick off with the subject of COVID-19. We know for a fact that it was in 2020 that we went on, lockdown as a result of the insurgence of COVID-19 in the world. And since 2020 up until this moment, we've seen a drawback as to how people pay attention to some of the outlined precautionary measures as stipulated by the NCDC and World Health Organization, because there's been an assumption, which might be wrong, that COVID-19 no longer exists in our society. So let's start off with that conversation. Is COVID-19 still prevalent amongst us?
Thank you very much, Victory. Once again, good morning, everyone, wherever you are listening from. My name is Ambassador Ruth. This program or project is a group of young people called the Ambassadors Group. We are from Slum and Rural Health Initiative. We are here to tell the public about COVID-19 vaccination uptake and HIV and AIDS prevention. Thank you. So, just as for the fact that COVID-19 has been declared by World Health Organization as a no longer public health of emergency of international concern, does not mean that we should not COVID-19 all the prerequisites, as for example, the preventive measures of COVID-19 that were put in place by World Health Organization should no longer be observed. Is still something that we need to put in our subconscious, that COVID-19 still exists, for the fact that it's no longer a public health of international concern. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts on that, Ruth. I mean, it's great to receive a reminder that COVID-19 is very much prevalent in our society, and we need to pay attention to some of the stipulated precautionary measures as stipulated by, the NCDC and the World Health Organization at large. But just for the purpose of reminding ourselves, what are these measures that have been outlined for us as safety guards that we necessarily do not pay attention to as of this time?
Okay, thank you very much. Prevention action to use at all COVID-19 community levels. In addition to basic health and hygiene practices like hand washing, recommended by World Health Organization and NCDC, that is Center for Disease Control, and these practices or these preventive measures include staying up to date with COVID-19 vaccine, that is going for your vaccination uptake. If you have taken the first dose, the second dose, you go for your booster shot. And booster shot is basically to remind the immune system of the virus it needs to defend or protect against. And we also are getting tested for COVID-19 if you have not done that, and then following recommendation for what to do if you have been exposed to this virus. Also, staying home if you have suspected or confirmed COVID-19. Also, seeking treatment if you have COVID-19 and at a high risk of getting very sick. Also, avoiding contact with people who have suspected or confirmed to be COVID-19 patient. Thank you.
All right, thank you for quite the thought this morning on that. Dimija, I'll come down to you on HIV and AIDS. I mean, we've heard about the virus. It's been cursed in our ears for a period of time, but right now I don't know that a lot of people pay attention to treatment, or prevention or care about HIV and AIDS. What is happening? Does it still exist? Because I think it's the burning question that we should ask ourselves, because people are living carefree, if we're being honest. Why do you think that it's become normal for people, for instance? We know one of the major ways to coming down with this virus is having unprotected sex. But it's become normalcy for a lot of people. So what exactly do you think is going on in our society today?
Good morning, everyone. This is Dimeji, an ambassador of Solomon Rural Health Initiative. So HIV, as you all know, is a viral infection that attacks the body immune system, and AIDS is the most advanced stage of HIV. So HIV has been living in society with us a very, very long time, and over time, because there is now treatment for HIV, people are less conscious about HIV. And according to a research paper by BMC Public Health, it was noted that in 2017, the Southwest region of Nigeria, we have the highest level of awareness of HIV, but surprisingly, the region has the least positive attitude towards HIV prevention. This is quite surprising. Although we have the highest knowledge of awareness about HIV, but we have the least positive attitude towards HIV prevention. And a possible explanation for this is because we now believe that HIV is not a normal thing. People will HIV is a normal thing. People don't count it as something serious anymore. And probably because they believe now that it's treatment, or they just have a carefree attitude towards it. And also, Nigeria ranks third among the countries with the highest burden of human deficiency virus, HIV, in the world. And according to the 2019 Nigerian National HIV/AIDS Indicator and Impact Survey, about 1.9 million people are living with HIV and AIDS in Nigeria as at 2018. And according to the UNICEF, Nigeria has the second highest rate in the world, highest rate of HIV infection in the world.
That's quite worrisome. You spoke about treatment, and I'm here wondering because I think it's quite new to me. Speaking of treatment, um, let's talk about that. I'm not even aware that there's actually treatment. I mean, I've been hearing about a speculation that there's something going on to get people treated for HIV. When did that come about, and how effective is that treatment?
So currently, there is no cure for HIV infection, but there is
But
treatment.
cure, that's what I mean, not treatment.
Oh,
Yes. Beg your
currently, there is
pardon.
no cure for HIV infection, but there are available treatments for people living with HIV. And one of the common treatments for people living with HIV is the ART, that is the antiretroviral therapy. So the antiretroviral therapy is a form of treatment that lowers the viral load in the body of people living with HIV. So this antiretroviral treatment helps or boosts the immune system of people living with HIV and helps them to live their normal life and extend their life expectancy. So antiretroviral therapy has two major forms, which is the first one is the pre-exposure prophylaxis, and the second one is the post-exposure prophylaxis. The pre-exposure prophylaxis is the treatment given prior to being infected with HIV, while the post-exposure prophylaxis is the treatment just given after being infected with HIV. So there's actually no cure for HIV, but there are retroviral therapies that can be given to people living with HIV.
Fair enough. All right, of course, you're listening to Solutions Clinic right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 939. We'll take a quick commercial, and when I return, we'll be back with more. Stick around. My name is Victor Richard.
Junior, get inside. You don't want to let mosquitoes bite you, do you? Me, I cannot treat malaria again, no.
Mama Junior, children will play. It is you that should keep your environment clean in order not to breed mosquitoes.
Even after netting the whole house and sleeping inside the insecticide-treated net?
Of course. Don't you know the state of your environment is as important as inside your house? Yes. When you get rid of stagnant water at every space mosquitoes can breed, be rest assured, Junior can play all he wants.
My friend, the honorary doctor. I will do just that, so that my family can say bye-bye to mosquitoes.
Not just mosquitoes, but malaria.
Together, we can achieve a zero malaria society.
This message is from Solutions 93.9 FM.
My name is Olatoye Ujo Baba Funke, LGA Supervisor for Breakthrough Action Nigeria TB Intervention. Tuberculosis is real. Everyone is at a risk of contracting tuberculosis. So, my sister, please check that cough. My brother, check that cough. Check the night sweat. Check that weight loss. TB testing and treatment is free at any primary health center. So please save your life and save the lives of those around you. Keep listening to Solutions Clinic on Solutions 93.9 FM. Thank you.
You're still listening to the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9, 35 minutes gone past 1, of course. This is Solutions Clinic, and we're talking about COVID-19 and HIV and AIDS. Of course, I have an organization that is dedicated to raising awareness in this regard, especially in rural and urban communities. And you're right with me in the studio. I have representatives, I have Ruth, and I have Demeji, of course, in the studio. Ruth has been addressing subjects on COVID-19 as well as Demeji talking on HIV and AIDS. So I'll get back to you, Ruth. It's good to still have you right here in the studio. Let's talk about COVID for a little. Let's get ourselves reminded on some of the myths that have been thriving on social media. in public places regarding COVID-19. What are these myths? Let's talk about some of them.
Okay, thank you very much once again. The myth of COVID that is trending now, COVID-19, let me emphasize, is real. It's still real. And one of the myths that is trending is that we know there are some people say that once you take the vaccine, you react to it. There's a negative reaction to taking the COVID-19 vaccination. Basically, let me say, the public don't really believe that there is COVID-19. They said it was a scam. That it was a scam, and we are here to tell the public that it's not, COVID-19 is not a scam. It's still a virus or a disease that is still in existence, and it is not a scam. It is real.
That's fair enough. Other than that, are there other myths that you probably have heard as you go about your, advocacy and awareness in rural communities?
Okay, they said one of the myths is that it was a kind of a means for they said Africa is too populated, that COVID-19 was one of the ways to reduce the population of Africa in such a way that we are too much. So they want to use COVID-19 to reduce the population of Africa, as it were.
It's actually laughable because we've had a couple of myths like that, and truthfully, shouldn't be so. Now let's talk about vaccination, because it's pivotal to boosting your immune system. Now there are a couple of vaccine procedures. We have, you take the first, the second, and you have to take booster doses. What are the advantages of taking these vaccines?
Okay, thank you very much. The advantage of taking this vaccine, is that, for example, now if you have taken, if you go for your first test, it is important for you to go for the second one, and then go for, just as I said earlier, that booster dose helps to remind the immune system that there is a virus it needs to defend or protect against. So it is very, very important to complete your dose of COVID-19 vaccination. So it is very, very important for everyone to go for his or her COVID-19 vaccination uptake. There are everywhere. You can visit any healthcare facility around your environment that you can get this treatment, and it is for free.
Absolutely. That's one reminder we definitely should have, that it's free to get, test the vaccination. Right. Let me come back to you, Dimeji, and let's talk a bit about HIV, because we want to really raise this awareness and get people to stop acting carefree and thinking that, the world is void of this virus. So let's talk about the disease for a little while, beginning with ways people can contact the virus.
Thank you very much, Victory. So there are significant ways of contacting the HIV virus, and we can just categorize that into two. That is through the vertical means and through the horizontal means. So if I talk about the vertical means, that is true, or is also called mother-to-child transmission, and this can be given to the child by his or her mother, or by his or her mother, yes. And that is true during pregnancy or during delivery. So we are talking about the horizontal transmission, that comprise through sharing infected equipment like needles or syringes, and or through sex, that is a common one, through blood transfusion, through breast milk. I'm not talking about during sex, that is through the semen and vaginal secretions. So those are the common ways of contacting or getting infected with HIV. So HIV can also be transmitted during pregnancy, as I mentioned, and during the delivery and during delivery. So, but there are also some myths about HIV transmission. Some people believe that kissing, hugging, or shaking hands, or sharing personal objects like food and water or other things with people living with HIV, they believe those are means of getting infected with HIV, but that's completely false. You can't get infected with HIV by kissing or hugging people living with HIV, or by sharing objects with them, or by sharing the same toilets, or by sharing dishes. No, it's not possible for you to get infected with HIV through that. And it's also important to know that people living with HIV who are taking the antiretroviral therapy, like I mentioned before.
Yeah.
So if they are taking the antiretroviral therapy adequately, they will have undetectable viral load and will not transmit the HIV to other people, as long as they are taking the antiretroviral therapy seriously. So they have very low chance or probability of transmitting HIV to other people.
This is what people say. People who are taking this say, I'm on PrEP. Is that how they put it?
Yeah, PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis, like I explained before.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm on PrEP. That means pre-exposure. That's pre-exposure prophylaxis is a antiviral therapy that you take before you get HIV infection. That's if you are yet to be infected, or if, like with the partners of people living with HIV, you can take PrEP in case they want to have sexual relationship with their partners who are already infected.
Does your organization give things like that, maybe comfort testing, and you're being granted all this medical assistance?
So the major thing our organization does is to refer. We will refer people living with HIV to organizations that can assist them and can help them.
Okay, fair enough. All right. As we wrap up our thoughts this morning, I'll come back to you, Ruth. What would be your advice to Nigerians who, one, have relegated the idea of using their face masks, sneezing below their elbow, and other precautionary measures as stipulated by the NCDC? What would you say to them, and what would also be your advice on people who are yet to buy the idea of vaccination, even at this moment, because it may seem as though COVID-19 is out of the equation?
Thank you very much once again. As we conclude this conversation, I want to encourage the public and to emphasize the fact that COVID-19 is real. Though it has been declared by World Health Organization that is no longer a public health emergency of international concern, does not mean that all the precautions that were put in place when these diseases erupted should not be maintained. It should still be maintained. The use of face masks should still be maintained, social distances, and avoiding overcrowded, and don't be in contact with people that are already suspected to be victim of COVID-19. COVID-19 is not like, let me say, like HIV and AIDS, whereby you can still live together with a victim of people living with HIV. You can still live with them, but COVID-19 is not like that. They are isolated, so you should not go get in contact with people who are suspected to be carriers of COVID-19. Thank you.
The rather they should report themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dimeji and Ruth, for being with us this morning. I really do appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we must say thank you for always listening to Solutions Clinic. Yes, we had quite a brief conversation today on HIV as well as COVID-19, but I'll be sure to bring you more in-depth analysis, having medical practitioners around to break this down as we extend our thought and give ourselves to knowledge, to avoid coming down with this disease, because, it can be very underwhelming when you are sick, and nobody likes that experience. Like I would always say, a healthy life is your ticket to a wealthy life. Good morning to you, IB City.
trying to find my feelings. Things been happening that I